Robbie woke up and cursed. It was Thursday. He hated Thursdays because it meant he still had school and couldn't escape his tormentors. He was of average height, average build, black hair and hazel eyes. Average in every way except for his teeth. They had a bluish tinge to them. Not so much that it was noticeable but enough to pick him out from everybody else. So he was bullied. He had heard of mutants and wished he was one. He wanted a way to combat his tormentors. He wanted strength or speed or the ability to fire lasers from his eyes. Yet he had none of these things. Just blue teeth. Sighing, he got up and walked towards the shower. Madeline woke up wet, again. The professor was right, she had needed the protection. She had felt his presence in her mind while she had slept, smoothing over the jagged fear spike in her brain. As she threw the disposable diaper in the bin, she wondered if anybody would mind if she borrowed a couple of the pull-up garments. She doubted it and at the same time pushed the thought from her head. She had training to become an X-Man to complete. She didn't need to be thinking of turning into a baby. Hey Frostbite. Yo blue mouth. Your blue teeth make you look gay. You are gay, aren't you? Can you kiss a boy without him freezing up? Robbie endured his morning walk to school alone. He had once had friends but they had long since deserted him and now he had to deal with this alone. He just kept walking, his head down and his blue teeth gritted. So you want some Colgate? Colgate. 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 They began to taunt. Back off. Robbie shouted, turning back for the first time. He knew all of his tormentors by name and by class and he had at least 2 in everyone today. Just make it till the weekend, he thought, then I can hide for 2 days. Madeline threw on her last clean pair of sweatpants over the top of her diaper. She no longer thought of them as protection or wanted to, and began her morning ritual of dealing with Charlie and Evan. At least supermodel Jean didn't know about her wetting, otherwise she would have delighted in putting Madeline down. Anything to make the other attractive girls in the Yaffle Institute look younger or less mature than her was one of her favorite games. Robbie was moving between his mid-morning classes when the frostbite taunts started. His tormentors then thought it would be funny to stuff him into a locker. Robbie tried to resist but the 4 of them managed to keep pulling him towards the locker. He held his own until the door was opened, then he began to panic. He concentrated all of his strength to avoiding the locker. The struggle continued but he appeared to be winning, as he wasn't moving any closer to the locker. Then more bullies joined in. Now they began to punch him as well. Back off. Robbie shouted. Back off. He shouted again, this time his voice was filled with another type of power. Mutant power. The 4 bullies that were holding him down flew across the corridor and slammed into the lockers. The extra 4 that had joined in were busy searching for weapons to use to fight against this new development. Now it's time for you to leave, Robbie said. He took his right arm across his chest in a slashing manner and the 4 bullies moved back, propelled by the force of this repulsion blow. Robbie collapsed to his knees and was sick on the tiled floor. He then stood up and shook his head. The next few minutes flew by in a blur.